We're going to find out what these two teams do as we see our dueling swords heading into the central area here.
Interesting. If you noted in that top path, there's not one but two characters coming up here from Nemesis, while it looks like Gaming Gladiators is looking to execute a more typical 1-1-3 competitive split here.
Yeah, this is always interesting to see how teams react to this. I feel like Gaming Gladiators solidly play this 1-1-3, this bottom lane with 3 Pokemon. They've been doing it for a long time and they're extremely good at it. But they're going to have to deal with this really interesting Nemesis strategy as we see the Greedent from Nemesis actually heading in to the top central area. Actually, from both teams, the Greedent's heading into the central area up top there.
Yeah, looking to pick off that final Corphish in the central area to stop the level 5 evolution of these Aegislashes. That being said, it looks like Lutano, both Greedents were unsuccessful at that.
Wow, this is so interesting seeing Lutano, not on Lucario, not on Trevenant, not on Blastoise, but Greedent. This is really interesting. For those of you at home who may not be familiar with Lutano, he is one of the most recognized Lucario players in the game.
Something else, speaking of interesting here, Nemesis has not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 players in this top path for this first Bees engagement. And I think we kind of see here what their overall strategy is looking to be with this Mr. Mime in the bottom path, which is that Mr. Mime, with its confusion especially, last hits better than almost any other character early in the game. So leaving a single character in the bottom to not give up value there, but overloading the top simultaneously to push ahead with their carry characters.
A really interesting move, Jeff, that we didn't get to see. Greedent and Hoopa from Nemesis were actually in the central area of Gaming Gladiators trying to take some of their experience there. And then as soon as Greedent got low, they sent them back with that hyperspace hole. Really unique, something I have not seen before.
As we look here at the levels across the board, looks like we have a small edge for Nemesis as their Aegislash hits that final evolution a moment before Gladiators, but things definitely incredibly close overall here as some fighting breaks out in the bottom path.
And they left Mr. Mime all alone, and they seem to be doing just fine. Mr. Mime has incredible last hitting potential with Confusion, but we've not got to see its moveset yet. I'm wondering what's coming out here from Mr. Mime.
Similar to the first engagement, we see here Gladiators prioritizing having more characters in the bottom path here for the 720Bs, whereas Nemesis has 2 characters in the top path still.
And we do have a guard swap Mime. I don't know if you picked up on that one, Jeff, but I cannot wait to see where this goes. Looks like it's getting slashed up a little bit there. Aegislash from Tomb here, your player to watch right here, taking them down, taking a big KO there off Mr. Mime, getting ready for this Dreadnought fight.
Something to note on Aegislash, the boosted attacks, those more powerful attacks that you generate off of this character, they deal damage based on the total health of the thing that they are hitting, meaning Aegislash is a phenomenal character for cutting through these thicker characters like Mr. Mime and Greedent. Huge engage for Nemesis are getting both the objective and the knockout on Tomb.
Yeah, as soon as Lutano, the Greedent player, went down there from Gaming Gladiators, they felt pretty safe to secure on that Dreadnought. Not only, by the way, speaking of that Aegislash, it does great on very tanky Pokemon and really nice on wild Pokemon and objectives. You can get some big secures with those boosted attacks when it's in blade form. But here we go, a double KO here from Nemesis.
Yeah, just pushing that advantage they started to get from the first Dreadnought and choosing to push even further, breaking this outside goal point, but not stopping there with these Unite moves as they push up further and further, resetting a couple of their people to restore their health here, though.
Wow, what an incredible fight. I mean, speaking earlier, if, Lutano is known for his Lucario, the Greedent player here, Nemesis Artriu, might be one of the best, if not the best Greedent players in Pokemon Unite. Just incredible.
Yeah, it's really interesting to me to see Lutano kind of acknowledge, hey, the best way perhaps they feel to contend with an opposing Greedent is to play a Greedent of their own in this top path. This character is just very unique in how slippery it is for getting in and out of tricky situations.
We can see, I'm not sure which Greedent is going to prevail, but I have to tip my cowboy hat toward the cowboy Greedent there on Nemesis. I mean, it feels like a crime not to have that cowboy hollow wear.
as we see this engagement around the Rotom here, ultimately going over to the Gladiators. This objective not providing a ton of value in this early game. It walks in and provides an overcap here of 36, which allows them to kind of close this point deficit that they had previously, but not going to help them collect experience, on which they are still behind as we head into the second Dreadnought objective here momentarily.
And we can see that the Hoopa from Nemesis is level 9, ready to bring their team in. We don't have a level 9 Hoopa from Gaming Gladiators yet. They just got their Blastoise to level 9, so they are definitely on their back foot here. Not even able to show up at Dreadnought yet, and it looks like this is going to be taken without a fight from Gaming Gladiators. Blastoise Yeet Fan actually taking down that Dreadnought.
Yeah, I wonder if this push up here feels scary to me. Both teams have Unite moves at this point. This could definitely go either way, as we see Nemesis quickly realize perhaps they should not extend in this manner and back off.
Oh, and it looks like Mr. Mime did not get the memo. Everybody else left but Mime. Run, Mime, run! Oh, he couldn't speak, but surely he can hear, right?
We see Greedent looking at a little bit of value in the top path, being pushed off thanks to these Pokemon walking through Hoopa's hyperspace hole. Both Greedents just getting those big belches, trying to secure last hits on these bees for those valuable experience.
Taking a look at this match so far, it looks like things are going in the way of Nemesis right now, but there's a lot of game in front of us still here. Big pickup there on Blissey as well. 2 members of Gladiators down right now, and they're going to be able to score in this top path. Oh, I don't know about that. Lutano's here to push them back, as well as Goof running Blastoise himself.
Yeah, both Greedent and Blastoise, again, just incredibly durable characters that give you a tough time to be able to push them off of a point before backup can arrive, especially when backup can just hop in a hyperspace hole and pop out from across the map.
We are here at the 3-minute mark. 1 minute here till Blastoise. We have Rotom up that actually has some pretty good value for Gaming Gladiators right here, but of course Nemesis does not want them to pick that up. Let's see who ends up getting this KO here on our Rotom. As always, the Pokemon that gets the last hit on it gets the secure, and here comes that last hit potential there from Gaming Gladiators, and they are able to pick up that secure.
That was a Unite move from trainer LGC, trying to secure the last hit on the Rotom there. Now, Aegislash does have one of the faster Unite recharges in the game. That being said, they are going to need to start clearing a lot of wild Pokemon to make sure they have that powerful attack available to them again come Zapdos time here in just 25 seconds.
So we're taking a look here. I'm not sure where they're prioritizing the experience over on Nemesis, but as I said before, as soon as Mr. Mime gets that upgraded guard swap, they're able to heal like crazy, but they're not there yet. They're at level 12. They need to be at level 13 so that they can get this. I see that they're not going to get this Dreadnought, so I don't know if Mime's going to have it for this big fight, and it is a game changer, Jeff.
Now, despite getting this final Dreadnought objective, it would appear that the slight level experience is still in favor of Nemesis. That being said, this 100-point dunk from Blastoise, where they all escape via that hyperspace hole, does put Gladiators solidly in the point lead as we head to this endgame engagement.
And here we have the fight breaking out. It's nowhere near the Zapdos pit, but this is essentially the Zapdos fight. Everyone trading blows here, and Mr. Mime does have that level 13. Can it get that guard swap on its tanky Blastoise? We will have to see here, or maybe it will put it on its Aegislash and make it even more powerful and give it a lot of help. Let's see what happens in this final fight. Zapdos is being hit. Who is going to be able to get this final hit? Looks like Toon trying to tear them up in the backside here.
You see that Unite move coming back in time to be able to KO that Hoopa. However, Hoopa is a lower level and has a fairly quick respawn timer here, as we see Toon start poking the Zapdos a little bit. They're up by over 100 points at this point, so I have to imagine they're just tapping this objective, trying to pull Nemesis in before they feel comfortable doing so.
It looks like we do have a score here from Lutano, putting them up even further right now. Is anyone going down in this fight? We do have Greedent going down and Blissey going down, one from each team here. What Pokemon are going to get KO'd right here? Are they able to take more down? 3 members of Nemesis go down. 4, only the sword is left. Can they do anything to take it out? It looks like this sword is going to have to run, and Gaming Gladiators is in such a good position right here. Ahead on score. They don't even need to touch this Zapdos right now.
What a phenomenal use of the hyperspace holes from Indy there on the Hoopa, being able to get Toon out on slivers of HP.
And right here, we're seeing a really interesting fight. There isn't anything Nemesis can do right now. Gaming Gladiators does not need this Zapdos. They'll try to score a few more points, but they were able to shut them down at that fight, and Zapdos was irrelevant for them. Game 1, heading over to the Gladiators.
What just an incredible dynamic difference coming from those crazy games where we just watched in the EU finals to here in NA, where the end game engagements are just drastically different. From a game theory perspective, these thicker characters tend to be more reasonable into these ones that are looking to punish people for being low on health.
That's exactly right. We're just going to have to see if they're able to make it work here. We've got 3 down here in this bottom path, and now we finally get to see this little tree. It looks cute right here as Fanta, but it is very, very mean.
Yeah, Trevenant, a character that got a number of all strict buffs in the most recent balance patch, making numbers on almost all of its skills just better than they were before. A character that's very capable of pushing and pulling the enemy team around to exactly where you want them to be.
Oh, Lutano might be caught here in no man's land. They are not yet greedent. They're not able to covet away, using the tackles, just trying to get out of there, and they actually do. Toon just showing the fact that a sword's here, getting them to back off.
Yeah, really close call there for Lutano, able to get out and get to level 5 before these bees spawn. Speaking of bees, just getting absolutely deleted here in the bottom path by these 6 characters.
And look at this here. Whoa, we've got ourselves a Woodhammer, Trevenant. I haven't seen this in a minute, but this is what Nemesis used to play. Strangely enough, its other moveset got a large buff recently, but not too long before that, so did Woodhammer.
Woodhammer, a attack that I really like out of Trevenant in this defender slot in the bottom path. It allows your character to do this kind of 1-2 punch of stun you and then stun you again, and specifically pull you into a spot that you might necessarily not want to be with the second hit with it.
That's right, these massive stuns. It has 2 stuns back to back when it swings these giant wood hammers. I don't know if you've ever been hit with a hammer, Jeff, but it's very disorienting.
I would imagine so. I would be stunned for it. The minimum a brief moment should I be struck twice by one.
Let me tell you, if I was struck twice by a hammer, I'm not getting back up. It's no longer a stun at that point. That's a full-on KO. And here we have him looking for the KO on Goop. Oh! He's able to get it with the wood hammer. My gosh, we are psychic-type Pokemon today.
Rex working towards its level 7 where it'll get the second attack up. We're going to be interested to see if we go with the Horn Leech for additional kind of zoning control with the Trevenant, or if we'll see a Pain Split for additional durability here.
Look at this sneaky sword. I thought Greninja was the sneaky one hiding in that bush, looking for a big score right here, or possibly a KO, getting those boosted attacks and just carving up this squirrel. But can anything take down Greedent? We will find out. It does go down. Big belch from Lutano there.
Really seeing the upside of this Aegislash character being able to deal damage based on the total health of the thing that it's hitting. Normally, characters like Greedent, which have an incredible health pool, very durable, less good when your opponent gets a bonus based on how healthy you are.
All right, here we go. We do have Decidueye in this bottom path, so a big steal is possible. And of course, there it is, Robin Hood from a million miles away, taking that Dreadnought. This is what that Spirit Shackle Decidueye can do. It doesn't even need to be there, Jeff, to be dangerous.
Yeah, the Spirit Shackle range on Decidueye, for those not familiar, is actually capable of hitting characters from so far away when you're playing the game, you can't even quite see them on your screen. Look at the incredible shot there.
All right, there are those Spirit Shackles. My goodness, so exciting to see it. And speaking of exciting, why is Nemesis excited for the Aeos Cup? To get another shot at first place.
I think that's why everyone is excited to be here, although not every team can claim another shot at first place, although the Gladiators are ones that can say a second time through.
That's right. Nemesis and Gladiators could both be heading back to a grand finals here today, and that was right on the money for a score. Their Decidueye here, Yeet fans, stacking that attack weight, and if you know much about that, that's just going to make those Spirit Shackles, those big arrows from Decidueye, stronger than they were before, as if they weren't powerful enough, Jeff. You stack this attack weight, and it has one of the largest bonuses in the entire game for a single move.
Yes, we refer to that Spirit Shackle as a move that scales, meaning the more attack this arrow gets, the more damage it deals at a greater proportion than most other skills in the game. These arrows capable of dealing upwards of 3,000 damage in a single hit to targets in the late game.
And you saw there that really interesting move from Decidueye, that Shadow Sneak, actually letting him know that the sword was hiding there in the bush. Toon heading into shield form here, trying to take some damage right now. You can see that is very beneficial, but now it's coming in, trying to carve up this Greedent, and it does. They are ready now to secure this Rotom.
Yep, we see Blastoise diving on in there in the hands of Goof, pushing that Decidueye off and eventually getting the KO, creating plenty of space for Toon to easily secure this Rotom objective.
And now we can see here, heading back in, and if anything's going to cut down a tree, it's not an axe, it's a sword here, Jeff. One of the most exciting characters to watch inside of Pokemon Unite, because there really is a dance with its abilities here. And now we can see Greninja running up and chasing the enemy team down with that big water burst shuriken, and now they are left Decidueye and Greedent here to clean up this Rotom.
Greninja ultimately biting off more than it can chew there, getting KO'd by Zugrug on Blissey in the central area.
And here we have a Unite move from Hoopa, bringing them all down for this big fight. And look at that, our sword is already level 12. Aegislash looking very good, but getting taken down there by Decidueye. And this is another nice moment for Nemesis right here. They have so many ways to secure an objective like this, taken by the Greedent.
Yeah, that's the big difference that stands out in my mind between these two teams, between Greedent and Decidueye and the Surf from the Greninja. Lots of ways for Nemesis to try and ensure that they get the last hit on those objectives.
Nice little score there from Lutano, the Greedent here on Gaming Gladiators as he runs away. You can't stop a Greedent no matter how hard you try. And here comes the Unite move. Great timing to use it and a great Pokemon to try to chase down here, Jeff. Obviously, when you're around the 4-minute mark, 3-minute, 45-second mark, you're going to see a lot of Unite moves because you won't get another chance to use them on most Pokemon until the Zapdos fight.
Yeah, and it's just so important that you have that powerful resource of the Unite move for that Zapdos fight, that most good players will be holding that skill for that final 2-minute fight mark.
Of course, Zapdos being so important, you want to be at your best for it. And now we see a little fight breaking out here as Gladiators is trying to zone them out and make sure that they don't have an opportunity to take this Rotom that is spawning up in the top path here. But these Spirit Shackles pushing them back. Let's see what's going to happen here at this big fight.
All right, we see the two thicker characters for Nemesis pushing up in Trevenant and Greedent, but those boosted attacks from Aegislash finally enough to take the Trevenant down as the hyperspace hole gets most of Gaming Gladiators to home and back again at full life cleanly.
My goodness, just seeing a Blastoise, Greedent, and Blissey, all low health and all coming back full. These big HP tanky characters, and they're right back ready to go.
All right, this Rotom is walking down the path, and while Lutano's looking to babysit it and maybe get a little bit of value by clearing wild Pokemon, you see the rest of Gladiators immediately moving away to other spots on the map, wanting to get some value inside of the Zapdos pit, and the just walks in here, and now we're at the 2-minute mark with this goal defenseless and 90 points going in for Lutano.
Yeah, there wasn't much they could do about it. They know they need to win a big fight here, but Trevenant getting very, very low, luckily getting back through that hyperspace hole. Everyone is just getting ready for this fight here. It looks like Gaming Gladiators is set up right here with a little bit of a level lead, and they're also set up with a score lead, so they do not need to be the ones to push this fight.
Yep, and not even just any score lead. It's a fairly sizable lead as well. Having more than a 100-point lead means the opposing team needs to either get Zapdos or score multiple times, even during this double point portion of the game where 50 would turn into 100.
And
huge knockout on the Greninja.
Yeah, this sword coming in, cutting them all up. We've got the Unite move coming out from Trevenant right here, and this is our fight. Zapdos is nowhere near, but there is this goal that they like to score on, pushing this Blissey back, and there we have the Bliss Assistance, the Unite move. The Unite move from Blastoise pushing Nemesis back right now. Does this tree go down right here? Aegislash looking for it, and it gets the KO on the tree. The sword does chop it down.
Yet again, for the second match in a row, we see Gladiators exerting their dominance in their levels, not even trying to take an objective, instead simply applying pressure to Nemesis to keep them out of the pit and unable to win an engagement.
We just saw a heartbreaking Unite move right there from Greninja. Obviously, Greninja needs to clean up when it throws that big Unite move, not able to secure a KO. And look at Gaming Gladiators here. Once again, this Zapdos is not touched. They don't want to fight at Zapdos right now. They just want to make sure that Nemesis can't. They're way ahead, and they are calm, cool, and collected right here as Nemesis tries for a big flip right now.
Yeah, and honestly, even if this Zapdos flips, there's 10 seconds left, Spraggles. We need, what, 5 or 6 to clear this bird, and then more than another 3 to go and get some points in.
Wow, what a match here. Almost every member of Nemesis going down, and they secure the Zapdos to boot. Gaming Gladiators getting their Zarina on and stomping all over Nemesis in these 2 games.